Think you're good at puzzles? The Zodiac Killer ciphers are more than just codes. They're taunts, traps, time bombs wrapped in symbols. For over 50 years, some of the brightest minds on Earth have tried to solve them and failed. But what if the clues were never where we thought they were? Join me as we dive deep into the mind of America's most infamous enigma and explore 3 shocking theories about the Zodiac's uncracked ciphers that you've probably never heard. The damp fog rolled over the San Francisco Bay Area on a cool evening in the late 1960s. A lone motorist, driving past the dim glow of streetlights, thought he heard something scratching at his window. In the quiet of the car, he glimpsed a pale, masked figure, then nothing. Across Northern California, a string of murders, taunting letters, and midnight phone calls began to stir terror in unsuspecting towns. By the time the first cryptic letter arrived at the San Francisco Chronicle, addressed simply to editor, the public had already coined the name, the Zodiac. A self-styled arbiter of terror, the Zodiac Killer claimed dozens of victims, though official counts vary, and, crucially, sent elaborate letters to newspapers, daring them to publish his codes. His identity remains unknown to this day, but of all the taunts and threats, his ciphers became the central battleground. Under layers of doodles, strange symbols, and false leads lay secret messages, some solved, many still unsolved. These puzzles, crafted by a mind that thrived on control and theatricality, turned the Zodiac case from a series of grisly killings into a decades-long puzzle war. The real challenge: crack the codes and maybe unlock the identity. Fail, and you remain blinded by the darkness he left behind. The Zodiac's first major cipher, the 408-symbol cipher, arrived in 3 parts in 1969. At first glance, it looked like random shapes: small circles, triangles, squares, dots, and slashes. But underlying them was a substitution cipher, each symbol mapped to a letter. This puzzle invited cryptographers, amateurs, and hobbyists alike to unravel its secret. Over weeks of frustrated attempts, a breakthrough came. Schoolteacher Betty June Hardin and her husband Brian had mailed in a partial solution. With help from Donald and Betty Hardin and the Chronicle's cryptographer, the code yielded a chilling message. "I like killing people because it is so much fun." The decoded text revealed the Zodiac's arrogance, his relish in fear, and a desire to toy with both law enforcement and the public. But the 408 cipher was just the opening act. In mid-October 1969, the Zodiac sent a more complex message, the 340-character cipher. Unlike the 408, this one resisted every conventional method. It wasn't until December 2020 that citizen codebreakers cracked it. Decades of guesses, computer algorithms, pattern searches, and blind alleys. Beyond those lie other puzzles. The so-called "My Name is Cipher," promising to reveal the killer's name, and the Red Phantom cipher, sent in later letters. Both remain unsolved, stubbornly defying even modern cryptanalysis. To this day, they are the skeleton keys no one has turned. In the early years, law enforcement agencies across California scrambled to decode. They recruited military cryptographers, FBI codebreakers, local police specialists, and even consulted amateur puzzle experts. Yet most attempts yielded nothing beyond partial fragments or incoherent strings. The ciphers weren't just substitution puzzles. They included nulls, symbols that don't correspond, transposition tricks, and misdirection. Some symbols appeared rarely, others over and over, defying simple frequency analysis. Patrolmen, detectives, and cryptographic specialists hit dead ends. The killer sent letters threatening to kill more if the newspapers didn't publish his codes, adding urgency and theater. One cryptographer recalled, "It was as though the Zodiac reveled in the frustration that every partial solution might be another trap." Meanwhile, the public obsession grew. Newspapers occasionally published the entire cipher in the hopes that someone, somewhere, might break it. That's when citizen sleuths began to swarm. In the 1990s and early 2000s, early versions of internet bulletin boards and cryptography forums became gathering grounds. Amateur codebreakers exchanged theories about homophonic substitution, cycling keys, and null letters. Some pursued pattern matching in the shapes themselves. Others matched zodiac symbols, stars, circles, to possible letter sets. One man working alone claimed he nearly cracked the "my name is" cipher, but couldn't finish without key fragments. Through all this, dozens of false leads and hoax solutions made the rounds. Some claimed they had identified Zodiac as Ted Kaczynski or Arthur Lee Allen, but those theories were never universally accepted, and none came from a fully decoded original cipher. As the internet matured, so did the collective power of amateur cryptanalysts. In cryptography forums like Zodiac Killer site, Reddit threads, and independent blogs, individuals shared breakthroughs, computational methods, and collaborative efforts. Three names emerged as crucial to the 2020 decryption of the 340 cipher: David Oranchak, Sam Blake, and Jarl Van Eyck. Their combined approach used human insight plus computer brute force plus creative heuristics. They believed parts of the cipher might function as transposition zones, symbols rearranged across sections rather than simple substitution. They also allowed for fillers and nulls that masked the true messages. Over months, they tested permutations, sometimes millions of possibilities, filtering by English language heuristics, frequency matching, and word pattern fits. They shared partial hypotheses, cross-verified by separate machines, and eventually locked in the structure. On December 3rd, 2020, their solution went public. It was a moment of triumph, but also bittersweet. The decrypted text matched its tone, taunting, violent, but revealing little. The Zodiac remained masked in shadows. Yet the victory sparked renewed energy. Amateur cryptographers across the world redoubled efforts on the remaining ciphers. With open-source tools, GPU clusters, and algorithmic improvements, the unsolved codes became the holy grail of puzzle crime. When the 408 cipher yielded its answer, it was chilling in its simplicity. The Zodiac mocked authorities, claimed thrill in killing, and insisted on continuing. It revealed a taunting character, obsessed with fear and spectacle. The solved 340 cipher, after 51 years, delivered a more elaborate, but still frustrating, message. Among other lines, it read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show, which brings up a point about me. I'm not afraid of the gas chamber." It exposed the Zodiac's self-promotion, his desire for fame through terror, and his ongoing defiance. Yet it still avoided the promised name revelation. He played cat and mouse, dangling fragments but withholding the full reveal. What these messages revealed: the Zodiac craved attention and control. He thrived on fear and taunt. He was manipulative, mixing truths with lies. He studied cryptography and misdirection. But the decoded texts also raised more questions than answers. Some portions remained ambiguous, symbol combinations that could map to alternate words. Some segments might be intentionally misleading. The real name, strings might be hidden behind further nulls or multi-layered ciphers. Investigators treated the messages as leads, not confessions. Some law enforcement analysts tried to match the Zodiac's vocabulary or signature phrases with suspect statements. Others looked for overlap between the cipher structure and known code training from military or intelligence. Was the Zodiac trained in cryptanalysis? One disturbing realization: no matter how many codes we solve, the killer's identity remains unmasked by anything in the text. The messages reveal mindset, but not origin, name, or true motive. Even with the 340 cipher cracked, the true Zodiac enigma persists. The so-called "my name is" cipher contained a 1969 correspondence, teased that decoding it would reveal his name. decades later, it remains unsolved. Some believe the text is well beyond a simple substitution cipher. It may involve multiple layers, transposition, and nulls that confound direct approaches. Others suspect the Zodiac intentionally made that promise knowing he would never follow through. Then there's the Red Phantom cipher, sent later, possibly with entirely different encoding rules or cues. Some of its pages are indecipherable even as symbol fragments. Others resemble partially corrupted texts, possibly intentionally smeared or miswritten to hide meaning. This cryptic incompleteness has frustrated researchers for over half a century. Each generation of cryptanalysts, armed with new computing power, algorithmic advances, pattern matching, and machine learning, has attempted to chip away at these puzzles. Yet every near breakthrough raises fresh ambiguity. Was the discovered phrase a coincidence? Is the supposed name, anagram, a red herring? Meanwhile, suspects remain unconvicted. Among the most discussed is Arthur Lee Allen, whose name appears in multiple Zodiac theories, but no definitive proof links him conclusively. Investigators also considered other names, but none has matched both physical evidence and cryptographic footprints. The case lives in limbo, partly known, partly unknown, always haunting. The ciphers are monuments to human curiosity and obsession. Beyond the usual suspects and standard methods, here are 3 less discussed theories about the Zodiac ciphers, possibilities that might change how we see them. Theory 1. Multi-layer composite cipher. Instead of a single substitution, the Zodiac may have layered methods, mixing substitution, transposition, modular rearrangement, and null insertion, structured in cascading stages. The first layer yields decoys. Only by peeling further does the real text emerge. Some amateur cryptographers believe the "my name is" cipher may contain 2 or 3 layers, with the outermost layer guarding deeper revelations. Theory 2. Symbolic misassignment and key shifts. What if the Zodiac deliberately assigned symbols to letters in misleading ways, so that the shapes look like one letter but map to another? Combined with periodic key shifts, i.e., the mapping changes after every 50 symbols, this would foil standard frequency analysis. Under this view, many unsolved regions of the ciphers are simply victims of shifting keys. Theory 3. Auto key or running key cipher with a hidden text source. Some propose the Zodiac use a running key, a reference text, for example, a book, poem, or newspaper column, that provides sequential letters to mix into the cipher. If true, unless we guess the exact key source, the cipher remains locked. In this scenario, even the solved 340 cipher may have used portions of a hidden text that added complexity. These theories aren't mainstream, but they represent possible paths for future breakthroughs. The true key may combine elements of all 3: layers, shift adjustments, and a concealed running key. Cracking a cipher is only half the battle. The Zodiac case persists because identity, motive, and proof lie elsewhere. But in the shadows, human tenacity continues to press forward. In recent years, renewed interest from cold case units, DNA technology, and advanced digital forensics have been applied. Investigators have re-examined glove prints, composite sketches, handwriting analysis, and crime scene evidence, sometimes cross-referencing with genealogical databases. Some independent researchers propose combining cryptographic fingerprints, how someone writes codes, with linguistic stylistic analysis, word choice, phrasing, to build probabilistic suspect profiles. Across YouTube channels, podcasts, forums, and true crime communities, amateur detectives pore over every detail, from Zodiac spelling quirks to the angle of his symbol lines. Many believe the next breakthrough may come not from a professional agency, but from a dedicated individual or group outside formal institutions, someone who spots a pattern nobody else saw. You, the viewer and listener, are part of that possibility. The next generation of sleuths may be sitting in their laptops, sipping coffee at 2 a.m., examining cipher fragments while the rest of the world sleeps. So take the challenge. Look at the unsolved ciphers yourself. Compare symbols, test shifts, try layered decodings. If you spot something new, something no one else saw, share it. It might be the spark that finally illuminates the Zodiac shadow. The story of the Zodiac is not finished. It lives in cryptic ink, in restless minds, and in a quest for justice and understanding. The killer may have vanished, but the codes remain. And until they are fully broken, one chilling truth holds. Someone out there knows the cipher keys. The rest of us keep hunting.
Like and subscribe.